guys, I just want to say thank you for showing up today. We have a lot to discuss, so let's just get right to it. In my last month of observation since I became CEO of this company, I want you guys to know that there are so many great things I see coming from you guys. I can tell that each group within our organization is very focused on their goals, and I applaud each of you on creating a culture like that. There's one major problem I'm seeing here, though, and I hope that we are able to address that today and come up with a resolution. One of the major issues that I've observed is the lack of partnerships between groups in this company, and honestly, I feel this is a result of our flexible work schedules.
I'm not sure you really want to mess with people's schedules. I mean, a couple of years ago we put this into place before you came around. Employee morale seemed to go through the roof. Employees are happier. I mean, if you start messing with people's schedules, they're going to get mad, and you're going to see some pushback. I'm not sure you're ready for that.
Yeah, I agree with Drew. I know that my team, if you tell them that they have to work like specific hours, they're gonna fight back like tooth and nail. Seriously, I can just hear them now. Like, I have to change this appointment. I have to change that appointment. Are you sure you really want that kind of pushback? Like,
Well, let's look at the numbers. In front of you, I have provided the performance numbers for the last 2 years since the flexible work program has been implemented. Our individual productivity has slightly increased. Our individual employee morale has slightly increased. But overall, our productivity and morale has declined quite a bit because we're struggling to communicate with each other and through each other's groups. It's so hard for us to get anything accomplished when we have to wait for the marketing team to come in at 12 compared to the accounting team that has to come in at 8 o'clock in the morning. There's that disconnect.
I mean, I can see what you're saying, but I'm just not sure this is the best choice. I mean, we're going to upset a lot of people by doing this.
I mean, I'm starting to wonder if you're a little crazy, honestly. I mean, if we do this, some of our best employees that have been here for years that have helped build this company, they're going to get up and leave. Because they're the ones that pushed so hard for this change, and now we're just saying, hey, guess what? You have to work what we asked you to work.
Let me put it this way. Is any employee our best employee if they're not willing to do what is necessary and right for the company?
not really.
Except for us.
Yeah, except for us. But honestly, I can see both sides to this. I can see where our employees are not going to be as happy about having to change their schedules, but I can also see where it is necessary. I never really looked at it from this perspective. I always just knew that my team was happy working the way that they were, basically making their own hours. But since no one else was complaining, I assumed everything was okay.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I can see where this is going to help us, but it would be so nice to be able to have my team sit down with other teams and throughout the company and just not waste time idling and waiting for them to get here and get the day started, basically.
I really think you guys are going to see the results pretty quickly. There's obviously going to be some initial pushback from each individual team, and that we're putting others' interests before their own. But I think in the end, as they see how much more we can accomplish and how less frustrating it is to have to, wait for people to come into work, it's really going to make a huge difference.
Well, I'm actually excited about it. Where do we begin? How do we communicate this out?
I mean, I say we begin today. I think we should all take our teams, take them apart, separate them into different groups, and say, hey, this is how we're going to do it. This is why we have to do it. Because if we don't explain to them the why behind it, we're just going to get that pushback I was saying earlier. And I don't think we can afford that right now. We're making a huge change, and we need to make sure it's communicated out properly.
I agree with you. I think we should start immediately. I think this is going to be a great idea. I mean, I'm looking forward to sitting down with the groups and working and meeting with you guys next month to discuss our progress and all the decisions everyone's made.
Thanks, team. I really do appreciate your support. I know that change can be uncomfortable sometimes, but I think it's going to be awesome. You're going to see a much less stressed and much more excited work environment, and your individual teams will see that effect as well. They'll be able to engage each other to get the job promptly instead of having to wait a few hours. Let's get to our teams and start discussing that so we can get implemented as fast as possible.
Awesome.
All right, sounds good.